Some conclusions arrive quietly without clamor. No slamming doors, no buried secrets bursting forth, just a faint whisper signaling the flame has already dimmed. That night she didn't shout, she didn't cry, she merely exhaled, "Please don't touch me tonight." In that instant, I knew. I lay next to her, eyes open, staring at the ceiling's faint outlines, lacked the will to argue. Silence draped over us, heavy, unyielding, like a wall hewn from rock. Yet, it hadn't always been like this. Once we were the pair others admired, earning fond looks always close, finishing each other's sentences, laughing at shared jokes in grocery store lanes. There was a time when she'd hold my face and kiss me as if I were her anchor. There was a time when she'd rouse me with a gentle brush of her fingers across my cheek, murmuring, "Don't ever go." How odd that the same voice once begging me to stay would later push me away. Together, we built a modest life. Nothing grand, just a love that seemed steady. I thought that was enough. But love requires more than routine. It yearns for attention, intent connection. Somewhere along the way, weariness consumed us both. Too tired to fight, too obstinate to repair. We'd sit on the same couch, eyes locked on different screens, eat without locking eyes, sleep facing opposite walls like strangers who once shared confidences. I remember when I first noticed her pulling away. It wasn't dramatic, it was the absence of her morning pecks, the subtle flinch when my hand brushed her arm, the way her smile faded before reaching her eyes. I told myself it was just stress, her work, life's burdens. Maybe she needed room. I kept trying, grabbing her favorite snacks, asking about her day, but her replies were short, her glances empty. She was there in body, but her spirit had strayed. Then came that evening. I reached for her under the sheets, not from desire, but from habit, from a spark of hope. She slid away, soft but resolute. In the gentlest voice I'd ever heard, she whispered, "Please don't touch me tonight." It wasn't cruel or bitter, but it cut deeper than any quarrel. In that quiet murmur, I heard the truth. She wasn't tired. Was done. I turned toward the wall. My heart beat heavy, not with fury, but with understanding. I was no longer her sanctuary. I was just a shadow she tolerated. Sleep evaded me that night. I lay there replaying our first date. Her laughter so free she snorted and flushed. The road trip where we sang love ballads wildly off pitch. The night she wept in my arms after her mother's death, saying I was her safe place. When did I cease to be her haven? Perhaps it was a gradual unraveling, both of us retreating inward, step by step. And there we were, silent side by side, yet completely alone. As morning light crept in, I rose from bed without a sound. She was either sleeping or feigning it. I scanned our room. The walls we'd painted together, the photo frames picked out on a rainy day, the corner where her coffee cup once rested. I packed a small bag, just enough to depart quietly. No drama, no note, no blame. Before leaving, I looked at her one last time. She seemed calm, not in love. Not broken, just empty. I didn't hate her. Perhaps she didn't hate me either. But the gulf between us had grown too wide. Even a goodbye felt like a gesture of mercy. So I leaned close and whispered goodbye. I'm not sure if she heard. She didn't move. I stepped into the dawn. The world outside unchanged, but inside me, everything had shifted. Months have gone by. Some nights I still think back to that moment. Her soft words, my silent reply, the way we parted without spectacle. People picture heartbreak as loud, but sometimes it's quiet, like a whisper in the dark. Like a man leaving the woman he still treasures because she no longer feels his presence. I still love her, not with a wish to win her back. I don't. I love her the way you cherish something that once kept you grounded. She was my bedrock for so long, but even bedrocks erode. Sometimes love doesn't end in betrayal. Sometimes it fades through distance, through words left unsaid too long. Through cold hands in a shared bed, she whispered, "Please don't touch me tonight." Not out of spite, but because she could no longer pretend. And I whispered, "Goodbye." Next morning, not out of anger, but because I finally understood what she couldn't say aloud. If you've ever loved someone who slowly drifted away, you'll know this isn't a story of rage. It's about knowing when to let go. It's not because your love has faded, but because they no longer feel it.